Before you begin, you must be assigned as a department administrator in HIePRO. Next, log in using your administrator account. Select Buyer Management. To add a new user, you have to search using their eHawaiiGov account email address. You cannot find them using the other search options. The other search options can be used if you are searching for an existing user, but not when adding a new user. Select Add. Select the user type. A buyer will be able to create solicitations and awards. A requester will only be able to request solicitations. A user assigned No Role HCE Access Only will not have a role in HIePRO. They will only be able to search for vendor compliance in Hawaii Compliance Express. Enter the position. Select the methods of procurement allowed. Indicate if this user should receive solicitation requests. If you want the user to be assigned to an approval path, then select the approval path you want to assign. The approval paths for solicitations are separate from the approval paths for awards. So if you want this user to go through an approval path when they create a solicitation and when they create an award, then you will need to select an approval path for each. An approval path can have multiple approvers. Watch the approval paths video for information on creating approval paths. Once complete, click Save, and this user will be added to HIePRO with the criteria you provided. To edit an existing user, you can search by name or email address. You can also narrow down your search by selecting a role. Note: searching by department will not help you narrow your results because all the users listed are within your department. Select Edit. Make the necessary updates to the user. Changes could be made to any of the fields, such as user type, methods of procurement, approval paths, etc. Once complete, save your changes. Prior to deactivating a user, be sure you have changed the ownership of all the solicitations they are assigned to. Now, search for the user you want to deactivate. You can search by name or email address. Select Deactivate. Once a user is deactivated, they will no longer have access to the functionality of the role they were previously assigned to. Search for the user you want to activate. You can search by name or email address. Using an email address will help you find a deactivated user quicker. Check the box Show Deactivated Users. Then select Activate. Now the user has access to all the functionality of the role they previously had been assigned to. Please note, if this user was the owner of any previous solicitations and they were transferred to another buyer, they will remain with the other buyer unless you change the owner back to this reactivated user. Buyers have the ability to put themselves out of office, but if the user forgot to put themselves out of office, you can do it for them. To begin, search for the user you want to put out of office. Select Out of Office. Select a backup buyer. The backup will handle the user's solicitations and awards while they are out of office. Click Continue. Please note, the user's solicitations and awards will remain with the backup until this user is back in office. Search for the user you want to put back in office. Select Back in Office. Click Continue. Now that the user is back in office, the backup buyer will no longer have access to this user's solicitations and awards. Managing users is easy at hiepro.hawaii.gov.